This is the app for the EcoFlow battery power system. My particular power station that I will be using this for is the River Pro right here, but your EcoFlow app is going to look very similar regardless of which EcoFlow product you have. I'm going to come up here to the right hand corner really quickly, and if you press the plus sign there, you get to pick what EcoFlow product you have. It is letting you know that you will need to have your Bluetooth turned on in order for that to work. And then over here you have a little picture of a person. Selecting that will bring you into your account settings. So here you can change the name of the account. You can change your overall temperature settings. You have your notifications. Do you want to be notified or not? You have your language settings right there. And then other down here, which is firmware, which is a great thing with the EcoFlow products. They will constantly get better with firmware updates to the machines themselves. You also have a help center. You have network diagnostics, which will kind of help you figure out what's wrong with the network. You have about, which will tell you the firmware version of your EcoFlow product. And then you have right here, check for updates. And right there, I'm all up to date. So that's the accounts area for the EcoFlow app. Coming back to the main page, if you already have an EcoFlow product attached to your account, you will see it listed there with its name and then a battery percent level right there. In my case, I'm doing this after lots and lots of testing. It's at 10%. Selecting into it will show us lots of information. Starting at the top, you have your battery indicator. So right there, it's letting you know, hey, this is really low. As this tops off, it will change color and be green. So here you have on the side, full and empty, indicating 10%. Left-hand side, indicating actual temperature of the device. Remember, if it's too hot, the batteries will not charge as quickly. So knowing your temperature is great. Also, it shows you if anything is plugged in, just like you would see on the screen. If I had something plugged in, it can run for 99 hours right now, but once you plug something in, that number dynamically changes. Here we can see an indication of output and input. So if I bring it over to input, you will see you have a charging level right here, letting you know, well, what's your maximum input up here, and then whether that's coming from solar, AC, or the extra battery. And then this is actually a graphical chart, which is more useful when you actually have something plugged into it. Selecting output, which is where we started on, you have very similar. Right here, you have a chart that will show you the output leaving the device. Currently, I don't have anything turned on. You have your X boost mode on and off. So what that will do is allow you to utilize things that would overdraw the unit by powering them down or dropping the wattage that's pulled. So X boost is a great way to kind of get around some things that might not work with the power station. And then you have buttons that will turn things on and off. So right there, I turned on the outlets on my device. And then here we have our light. Do we want to turn our light on? Do we want it bright? Do we want it met? Or do we want that? So simply toggling that, which you might see over here, if I turn it up brighter, you can kind of see, if I turn off one of my spots, turn on the SOS, you'll see it blinking slightly off camera. So the ability to do that from the application itself, and then you saw watt output change. The ability to do that from the app itself is very good if you have your power station placed in an area that you can't access relatively easily. And then here we have on-off button for our DC. And then right down here, if you have anything coming from your USB-C, AA, or the fast port on here, it will let you know those wattages right here. So a lot of data right there, but this is not only for data information about your power station. Up here in the upper right hand corner, you have a sprocket or a cog icon. This will allow you to do extra stuff for the power station. Remember I said those firmware updates will constantly make it better? This is where a lot of that's gonna come from. So up at the top, we can rename our power station. We have our charging levels. Let's say you wanna keep your battery capacity at full charge under 80% to try and extend the life of your battery. Well, here's how you can change that. Just toggle that to where you'd like to charge and then hit confirm. What that will do is as you charge up to full, what will get considered full instead of being 100% could be 80%, could be 85%, and then it'll let you know it's done charging. Here we have our car input. Selecting that will allow you to change anywhere from 4 amp to 8 amp. Here we have our AC slow charging. What this will do is, one, help keep the fans from cycling on when you're actually charging your particular unit, in my case the River Pro, but what this will also do is not rapid charge your device, meaning that 0 to 80% that you're gonna get in about an hour with the River Pro, well, it'll take longer, but it also doesn't degrade the batteries as quickly using the slow charge over the fast charge. So keep that in mind. It's a how do I want to use this device? And that's the thing. They're giving you the options so that you can use the device as you see fit. What do you need it for? Do you need it to charge really fast? Do you need the batteries to last a long time, meaning years? Or do you need rapid deployment of electricity faster? So that's what that option is. Here we have our DC mode. Currently I have it on auto, but you can change that for solar recharging, car recharging, or nothing. So I'm just gonna leave that alone as it is. Beeping. This is probably gonna be one of the things that you turn off first, because if you watch a lot of YouTube reviews, just like I did before I went out and I got this, you notice that the River Pro or the EcoFlow product isn't actually beeping. And that's because they come in the app and turn that off. Because it's nice the first couple of times that you use it to know when you're pushing something that you get that audio response back, but after a while you don't need it anymore and you wanna turn that off. So here's how you turn that off. Here we have our auto fan speed. So I have that on, meaning as the unit gets hotter or as it's drawing more power to charge itself, the fan will automatically kick up and make itself faster. Coming down, we have our unit timeout. So, hey, you want to preserve your battery? How long before the unit shuts itself completely off? Right now I have it at 2 hours, but you can do it from never to 30 minutes. Screen timeout. So again, is the screen on the front of it timing out too quickly for you? Well, you can come in here and change that anywhere from 10 seconds to never. If you really need it to stay on, you can do about 30 minutes, which will help preserve the battery rather than it having never turned off. And then here we have the AC timeout. So those plugs on the side, how long do you want to leave them on before they cycle themselves off? Well, again, anywhere from 2 hours to 24 to never. Everything is customizable with your unit. That is why it's really cool to have an application that connects to something like the River Pro. And then, just like we had in that other location, we have our firmware, which we check just for our singular device as opposed to an overall if you had multiple devices on that other page. You have a help center, and then you have specifications. Again, for your particular unit, and then you can unlink your unit right from here if you wanted to. That was the EcoFlow application for the River Pro.